100 episodes of the Nostalgia Test podcast. Who would have thought this insane thing would last? Revisiting movies, music, and food, even when they weren't in the mood. It's been fun, it's been weird, and Manny sometimes had a beard. So let's toast to 100 eps and put Tom Cruise's cocktail back to the Nostalgia Test. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Yes,
that was well
we're here. We're here. 100 episodes. Who would have thought? And I can't believe we're doing it again. You know, one of my favorite movies of all times. I know you don't like this movie, Dan.
But is like a harsh thing to say.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
Well, I'm going to open it up like this. With first of all, that poem was great. I'm just going to open it up. We're talking about cocktails, so I have to open it up with one of my favorite poems. I pretty much know it by heart, but I'm going to read it right here. I'm the last barman poet. I see America drinking the fabulous cocktails I make. America's getting stinky on the something I stir or shake. The sex on the beach, the snobs made from peach, the velvet hammer, the Alabama slammer. I make things with juice and froth, the pink-toed squirrel, the three-toed sloth. I make drinks so sweet and snazzy, the iced tea, the kamikaze, the orgasm, the death spasm, the Singapore sling, the ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling. America, you've just been devoted to every flavor I've got. But if you just want to get loaded, why don't you just order a shot?
Oh, a shot?
That was good. You read that well. I want the audience to know that was not memorized.
No, I do know when I see it, when it's happening.
You know how to read. Yeah,
no. I meant when it's on screen, I say it.
Well, I mean, this is a celebration though of 100 episodes of this podcast.
Yeah.
So like we've actually got to 100 episodes. We're here with Steve.
It's a guest episode too.
Steve Herrera, who is Nostalgia Test podcast famous for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the 2020 Hang with Billy, and
the Redemption episode,
the infamous Rocky Redemption episode, because of the blasphemy that he spewed on the Hangout episode.
And he's probably like one of 5 listeners.
I haven't listened to the podcast.
I'm sure he hasn't listened in a while.
Wow.
I know.
I will take full credit for the success of this podcast. I just want you both to know. 100 eps. Congrats, guys.
Well, I mean,
you should feel special that you're on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel special.
I almost was like, should we do like a cocktail, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Killer Clowns all in one? But I was like, that's gonna be a lot, because it would be nice to revisit Killer Clowns.
So.
Yeah, Killer Clowns. All right, I'm just gonna go say Killer Clowns was a better movie than Cocktail.
Whoa!
Wow!
Just right off the bat like that.
I'm coming in.
Jesus,
hot.
I mean, coming in hot. Except you don't know how to talk on the mic. Stay close to that thing.
Well, let's just go for the people who don't know. Like in our first episode ever, we talked about Cocktail. You can go back and listen to episode 1. It sounds amazing.
It's perfect sound.
I was listening to it today. I
was recording off of my phone.
Yeah. I was listening to it today. It was quite an episode. The content's amazing, but the sound is quite crazy. But if people don't know anything about Cocktail, we're gonna
have some Danny facts.
Oh,
let's go.
Of course,
man.
Here we go.
Let's get him in.
So this is a 1988 romantic comedy starring Tom Cruise, Elisabeth Shue, Brian Brown, Lisa Baines,
Babe.
What? Hello?
I was saying
He's
babe.
just saying babe.
Oh,
I didn't mean to throw you off your game.
Gina Gershon.
Come on, you're 100 eps in. You gotta be ready for these curveballs.
And Ron Dean, who plays Uncle Pat. And then the bent on becoming a successful millionaire, ambitious ex-military man Brian serves drinks at a New York City tavern and studies for his degree while waiting for his big break. And then veteran bartender and cynical mentor Doug enters the picture, convinced that their chemistry and flamboyant tricks behind the bar will soon make the dynamic bartending duo famous and rich. And basically, it goes from there, gets crazy. There's 5 different movies in this one film, and we are then thrown into the chaos of Cocktail, an 80s masterpiece.
The great thing about this movie, it's a movie about nothing, but about everything all at once.
Sure.
Because really, at the end, you're like, "This what?"
It's a Seinfeld movie.
What is he saying? Is he talking on a mic?
It's a Seinfeld movies. Can you not hear me?
We can, but it's like you got to be really in your mic to hear him.
I'm in it, baby. I'm in it.
There you go. Yeah. First of all, I always say, it's hard. I don't even remember how I finished with the first episode on this, on whether it passed the test or it was just nostalgic. But obviously, my first reactions is always that there's something about this movie that I love, just because I guess the history of it. Because I've introduced so many people to it, and they think it's so bad that it's good in a way. Like, it's just funny because there's so many different people that I've had interactions with this movie, and they're like, "Why did you like this movie?" I was like, "I don't know. My mom made me watch it so many times." Like, it's just. Why
did you like this movie, man? We've never talked about it. I mean, I don't remember the first episode. I
had a man crush on Tom Cruise for a long time, so like whatever he was in, whatever, and I wanted to be a bartender the way he was making drinks. Like, that was just really cool. In my opinion. So and the soundtrack is phenomenal.
The soundtrack is really
solid soundtrack. The Addicted to Love feature was pretty great. He did the classic lower the volume down and let the bar sing it, baby. I think that's where it started. That's where that tradition started.
Yeah, right.
Cocktail.
Like no other bartender did that except
never happened
with Tom
before.
Cruise.
Happened a bunch of times since. DJs all over.
As soon as it comes on, you don't even have to know the movie. It's just been the trend. Like, might as well face it. You're you got to shut it off.
Yeah,
he started that trend.
Living on a Prayer, same thing. Like all those songs.
Yes, it all started at Flanagan's.
It all started at Fridays, because today, watching
Dan's theory.
No,
watching this movie, Dan's theory is amazing on this.
I'm throwing that theory out.
Okay.
I'm throwing that theory out because watching the film back again, the second time we go into where they're working, there's the
busiest bar ever.
There's an exterior shot of the building, and it is a TGI Fridays. It says TGI Fridays on the building.
Absolutely does.
I didn't notice that the first time. And we did the first episode, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, like, this is Fridays? But
was Fridays that hot in the 80s, in the late 80s? Was it happening?
Yeah, I mean, Fridays on Long Island, but I don't know about the city.
I remember as a kid going to Fridays, and I loved the chicken tendies as when I was a little boy. And I just wasn't aware of how hip that it was over there at the bar. There were bartenders doing poems.
Or the hookup culture at Fridays. Like, it seems like that's the go where people were just like getting like crazy. Like, it was like, but it's Fridays.
But it didn't say Fridays on their
it did.
It totally did.
On their tags. On their tags?
It totally not on the uniform, no. But it did on the
uniform. They didn't talk about it being Fridays.
On the building.
Okay, on the building, fine, but it wasn't like a predominant part of the story. Although the story was about a chain restaurant.
Yeah.
that you'll be able to find at malls. So I was like, the whole movie's about Fridays.
The whole movie is about franchising. This movie should be turned into a book, which it was, okay, it's already a book, but it needs to be reimagined as a book for like a business book on what not to do and what to do. Because this movie would have been 10 minutes long if Brian Flanagan and Doug Coughlin went to a bank and just asked for a business loan.
Yes. That's it.
Boom, done.
This would have been, like,
cut out Gershon altogether.
I wrote that in my notes. I'm like, just go to a bank and get a business loan.
I think Coughlin, he just couldn't get out of his own way. It's really a tragic tale. You know what I mean? He had the path right in front of him there with Brian and his all his like vigor, and then he just wouldn't do it.
I mean, he was jealous, right? He was like the jealous teacher. Like he taught him all this stuff, and then he just couldn't take losing money. All this was about two people who were very addicted to drugs and gambling.
All this was about $50. Like it's about $50. This is what these guys do. Everything's $50. Like, and then Brian says it at the end. Brian Flanagan's character goes, "When a man bets you." I mean, he's trying to tell Elisabeth Shue at the end that, like,
oh, dude, I needed to talk about that part. I needed to talk about that part.
Go ahead.
He goes, "It's not as bad as it seems," and then goes to explain how it's way worse than how it seems. I'm going to take this horrible thing I did and make it sound worse.
Yeah. Like and when a man lays down a bet, when a man lays down a bet, you got to do it. Like, oh, that's like something you say to like, you're 90 and you got to like clear the air with like your 92-year-old wife. And you're like, when a man lays down a bet, I just want to let you know I had to cheat on you once.
What is up with Brian anyway? How does he not know about anything in life at all? What is?
Because he was in the army.
But what war was he in a war? Like, what is going on?
Oh, he enlisted in the army. He did his service and he came back.
He's just constantly learning, and he's learning from Coughlin.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he's got the books that he reads. He tries to go to college. He's got his Uncle Pat, who I love. And then you got Coughlin is like his New York City Uncle Pat, Uncle Pat lives in Long Island City before Long Island City becomes like Long Island City. Cause you saw how like,
it was crazy.
It was that shot. I was like, oh my God, that's like filled with apartments and beautiful parks now. Yeah. And it was like a dump. Like they were showing.
It was a literal dump. I mean, it was garbage everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I want fan fiction of what Uncle Pat was doing the whole time.
The whole time?
Money. The whole time of the movie Cocktail from Pat's point of view. That's what we need.
Well, he would just be running his bar and like making fun of his nephew, who he was obviously not going to. I think that would be a more
interesting movie.
Because at the end, he's like telling Elisabeth Shue, he's like, well, I saved up money and I got the rest from my Uncle Pat.
And I got the rest from my uncle. What?
Yeah,
what loan from Pat? How much money does Pat have?
Yo, Pat has some money, bro.
And why does she?
Pat has money.
And why would she know
what kind of money? It's a dirty money.
It's not dirty money. Pat has money.
Yeah,
because Pat saves every dime.
Remember that scene where his friend, the customer, has $1 on the bar?
Yeah,
and he takes it and he goes,
he's like,
"Hey, if it's change, you give it. You ask for it. If it's on the bar, it's a tip.
It's a tip." And a beer only costs $1.
$1.
He charges
$1. You get
and he charges his nephew, who just went to the war.
You get $1 tip from $1 beer. That's 100% tip, dude.
100%.
That was wrong, bro. He probably was human trafficking. We can never know.
No way.
No. Who Pat? Where the money's coming from? Yeah.
No way.
No way.
I love Pat.
Pat was sitting in that
outwork,
bar.
out scheme, out maneuver, and makes damn sure you're the smartest person in the room when the subject of money comes around.
Dude, it sounds like a classic schemer. Sounds like a dude who knows how to scheme.
Uncle Pat is an example from like the book, The Millionaire Next Door. He doesn't have anything new. He runs his business. He doesn't give money away. He saves everything, and in the end, he's a multimillionaire. Like because when
if he invests in the next Fridays, absolutely. Cocktails and Dreams turning out like they were in a mall. That was the first one.
That was a mall?
You're supposed to be outside of the strip mall, right? Remember how they said his idea was like the bar was going to be at many malls. Yeah. It was going to franchise and look like a bar, a New York bar. Yeah. So
I'm so glad he didn't like toast Coughlin at the end, because really Coughlin is the enemy. Like, he's the bad guy. He's the villain of this whole film. And if Brian Flanagan didn't meet him, he would have been fine.
What's crazy is that they only knew each other for like 3 years, and they were considering each other like best friends. Like, this guy Brian doesn't have friends from like the army or like any other friends that he had when he was in New York.
I'm saying. Like, what he's like a new doe deer that just stumbles into this scenario, and then he meets this other guy who also is just completely alone.
No, that guy's just been there. He's a schemer.
Yeah,
like Coughlin's just been waiting,
squatting.
You know, like even the waitress was like, "Oh, you got a new apprentice or disciple or whatever." Like, it just didn't work out. And then he saw Dan. I like what you said one time. You were like, he's like pimping him out. Like, he's his like pimp.
Yeah.
Hold on. How many came before Brian though? That's the question. How many? A ton. Failed experiments.
Oh,
you know.
And then, and like, notice how like, Dan, there was one part you said, like, anytime Brian stepped out of line, he had to freaking lay the smackdown on him. He's like, oh, I have to show him who's boss, so for him to like get straight.
He's the worst friend ever. Like, the worst
friend.
He's talking to Doug about Gina Gershon, and then he tells Gina Gershon what he said to get $50 back from him.
$50.
Dude, they must be trading the same $50.
Dude, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care about that woman at all, because when he, like, you know, when the fight happens, she's there, and he's like, I just wanted my $50 back. You know, like, anyone who's a floozy in a hole like that, you don't want to be with anyway. I did you a favor. He says that right in front of her.
Well, she probably got 25.
But he doesn't. He doesn't even.
It was a scam.
He doesn't even care about her. He didn't care about it at all.
No, he's gross.
Dude,
no.
I got to talk about the Gina Gershon, that sex scene. What were they having sex?
No, he was tickling her. He was, you know, that in real life,
what was that?
Tom Cruise found out that she was very ticklish. So he started tickling her during the sex scene.
What?
And that's the scene they used.
That's a true story? Is that a true story?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, like them.
So he was just tickling her during that sex scene?
Dude, that was going
terrible.
Oh man, dude.
It was the most violent tickle I think I've ever seen that's ever been caught on.
She was trying to run for her life. Like, literally.
She was not having a good time,
No, and then she walks outside in the middle of winter in a bed sheet. Dude, what New York do they live in?
How cold was it?
It's had to be cold.
First of all, can we okay, pause. We just went on a tangent. We were kind of all over the place. The beginning of this, okay, when they like drive and bring down.
Really dialed it in. You guys really dialed it in over the 100 episodes. Go on. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we already, if you listen to episode 1, we talked about it in chronological order. It doesn't have to be with this episode. Chronological order. So Steve, you were about to bring up like what was the whole beginning part about? You know how like
where'd that baby come from? The baby on the bus?
So they're just on a Greyhound.
Babies, tickling girls.
They're on a Greyhound. But my theory is that they were at like a bachelor party, or they had just finished their service and they're like hammered. He's late. He misses his stop.
Yeah.
And they're driving. And if they were that close to New York, I'm like, why not drive the whole way with your siren on?
Yeah.
Or
they say later he's from Queens or something, right?
Yeah, but they're not. He's not that close, because when they get pulled over, or when they pull the bus over, there's snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, he's driving for a while. There's no snow in New York City when he gets to New York City.
I assume that they're like at West Point or something.
Okay.
Mm.
I assume they were in like Rochester. I don't know. I was like thinking Albany.
Well, where does upstate start?
Anywhere past the Tri-Borough.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Because I've been seeing.
I was just there. I was 13 on the Palisades, and if I told those people that I was upstate, they would be really pissed off at me right now. Okay. But I was fucking upstate.
I saw people say Poughkeepsie, and I'm like, what? That is not where upstate starts. It starts as soon as you pass like the bridge, and that's it. It's over. I'm upstate.
That's it. Terrytown, upstate. But
Oh my god, why do they have?
so they pull him over, dude. They pull him over. I was in New Paltz the other day. They pull him over, and like, first of all, they're abusing their right to like pull something over, right? If you're on the bus, you're like, what the hell is going on? This guy has a seat, apparently. He has a seat, apparently. And then like people are going on and off, and he just picks up this random baby, and he's like, we're gonna take over the world, kid. We're taking it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like Tom Cruise improvised a lot.
Yeah. I mean, some of the movies definitely like How to Succeed, right? Like, so this guy is like obsessed with making money. Yeah. And then it's like the love story. And then it's like a whole other thing going on with mixology and, you know, this guy who's just a schemer. It's like the hustle. Again, Uncle Pat sets up the whole story. It's like the hustler, the schemer, the worker. Who's it going to be?
That's why I want an Uncle Pat version. He's a more interesting character. He's got a lot going on there. You know what I mean? He's got life.
And he knows everything.
I love when he's like, trust nobody. I'm going to have a kid. He's like, that's it. Last call.
Yeah.
Bus closed.
Yeah, everyone out of here.
And, wait, talk about like bad friend and bad advice. He's like, you know, you could just walk away. You don't want nothing. Yeah. Just wash your hands of this child that's about to be born.
He's like, she's not bothering you. But then when he's like, but I love her. And he's like, oh, now you're in trouble.
But I love her.
Dude, Pat is not a good person. I want to know, dude, he's a human trafficker.
Why is he a human trafficker? Why are you saying he's a human trafficker?
Got a speedboat somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's got to be some sort of mafia.
No way he doesn't.
There's got to be some sort of something going on that he was able to run a bar at LIC back then. Like, what was he doing? He's like the only bar there.
What I'm saying, who's in the back, you know?
I don't think there's a back to this bar. I think what you see in the front is it.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Patty's.
This is what's up there.
Pat's Corner.
It's like O'Donnell's.
Yeah. Well, you know what was happening in O'Donnell's at 2:00 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, worst sex scene ever. I'm going through my notes here.
Okay, first of all, there are a couple things. Mel Gibson was actually considered for Brian Flanagan for this part. And also for the part of Doug, they considered Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, Michael Caine, which is an obvious choice considering this guy, Brian Brown and Michael Caine are kind of like pretty close. And Dudley Moore.
They really wanted Paul Newman because they wanted to have him and Tom Cruise do
like The Color of Money.
Yes.
That was a good movie.
Which would have been a whole other movie. Like this guy, I forget the actor's name.
Brian Brown.
Sleazeball. Like looks like a greaseball. Like, I don't know, man. Like
Dudley Moore would have been like a way funnier version, and it wouldn't have worked as well because you would have liked him.
It would, because he would have just been a drunk, like in Arthur. Like it would have just been like that. It wouldn't have been like this guy. And Jack Nicholson just would have taken over the entire
the whole movie. Yeah. Although Jack Nicholson and Michael and Mel Gibson probably would have been a good. That would have been an interesting combo.
Yeah.
If I was gonna recast Brian Flanagan, I would have picked Kevin Bacon. Because I feel like Kevin Bacon would actually have been a really awesome Brian Flanagan.
Imagine Kevin Bacon doing that.
80s era Bacon, yeah,
I can
80s era Bacon.
I can see Kevin Bacon doing that poem.
Yeah. What about what's his name? Swayze.
Oh,
Swayze was riding those Roadhouse vibes.
Roadhouse. I'm saying. 1989, Cocktail, 1988.
Okay.
Ghost. Yeah. Think about it. Yeah. He was, you know, like the rom-com. I think he would have been. I think he would have been a good Flanagan.
Yeah, this movie is not funny at all. This movie is not
listed as a comedy.
Yeah,
it's not funny. I didn't like
it. There's no jokes in it at all.
No.
I wonder how the trailer went. I wonder what the trailer was like.
Oh, it's probably it's terrible. All the trailer is the scene when he's trying to make she's going, I need a Cuba Libre, and he looks at the menu and he's about to call her a bitch. That's the scene.
That's the trailer.
That's the trailer. That's the trailer. of him like freaking out, behind the bar when like, Douglas just is like, yeah, you could come work with me. Like Doug was like, right away, put you in the shit. Here you go. And like that stupid joke when he's like moving the hand, he's like, and
Guys,
let's watch the trailer. Let's watch the trailer. Okay, let's watch it.
I've got it up. Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, he's pulling it up.
In 1 square mile of this saloon lies the greatest concentration of wealth in the world.
Ooh, Coughlin.
Yes.
Coughlin's Law right there.
But how was a bartender gonna get his hands on any of it?
This is the big time. Are you ready for the big time, young Mr. Flanagan?
I think I can handle it.
This isn't what I ordered! Get your act together! A white wine! All right! Now what was it that you ordered? A martini! What's in that?
In many ways,
Okay, that was like the only show.
Yes,
Make a bit of a joke.
You get the women, you get the bucks. And you can see the color of their panties, and you know you got talent.
Was the crazy. That was in the trailer.
I want you guys working for me!
This is a real opportunity.
Jet set bartenders, eh?
The
Where's the comedy?
Jamaica man. Everybody a drink?
Right there.
My rum specialties, perhaps?
Bartender with the line for
The bartender.
Now, he's about to be swept off his feet
Wish we could stay here forever.
by the one thing he didn't expect.
Don't tell me Brian Flanagan is in love.
Oh yeah, another horrible sex scene. What was going on there?
This is more than just a one-night stand.
You made a move on her?
Oh, they're trying to mash it up like talking about.
I don't have any friends! As of now, that is for sure!
your sexy little smile.
What is that scene?
That wasn't in the
So
movie.
I'll tell you what it
That's
is.
for you.
I'll tell you. Hold
That
on.
wasn't in the movie.
I'll tell you.
There's a
that
lot
what
of
your
stuff
daughter's
that was
worth?
cut out.
You think I'm letting some
a
bartender
long
walk into
trailer.
my family?
I love you.
They're showing you the whole movie.
Throw this bum out of
Show
here!
the whole movie
You're so
This is the whole movie.
Jordan,
with an extra scene.
Wait, they even have this part?
Is how hung up on money I am.
Yeah, this is the official
The way I feel
trailer.
about you.
Look at the lighting.
No
I
attention.
guess you'll never know. And look. How long is this fucking trailer?
As long as the movie.
Bro, if you watch this trailer, you've seen the movie.
I thought trailers were back then though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how trailers were. You're right. You're right.
How trailers
So,
were.
so that part when he's like,
Wow.
"You're not my friend now," that was supposed to be the way the movie. It was even supposed to be darker. Was that he makes a move on Jordan?
Really?
Yeah, he makes a move on Jordan, and that's when what's his name is like, "You're no longer my friend," and hold on, and then he leaves. I'm sorry, hold on.
Real quick.
I'm having an issue.
Dude, this episode is just like episode 1. There's so many problems.
No, my freaking this thing just stopped working. Shit. Hold on.
What's
Oh
not
my
working? We can
God.
hear and see you just fine.
No, it was about to say that my laptop was about to shut off. All right. No. So they were saying that they were going to end it even darker, where Brian and him fight in the boat because he tells
Does
Brian
he kill him in the boat?
that he made a move on Jordan. So Brian punches him and he's like, "You're my only friend." He's like, "Well, now you got nobody," and he leaves.
How
And then
did Brian not get Sorry, go ahead, man.
Coughlin kills himself after that, and then so Brian blames himself for punching him out and making him depressed and stuff like that.
That
So
makes so much more sense because his death really comes out of fucking nowhere.
well, I think he said they just went to the whole thing that he owed too much money.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, the way
Doesn't
he
come out
died,
of nowhere?
he looked like he was murdered. Though that it's not like when they went.
Well, that's
back
what
and
I'm saying. When the cops, that's when the cops are there cleaning, responding, whatever. How did they not think that Brian might have killed him? Like, how did he just get? Oh, I just found him like that.
Well, he had a suicide note.
Violently stabbed in the throat
He had a
with a
suicide
broken
note.
bottle.
No, the suicide note was mailed to him.
It wasn't there on the scene. Yeah, the suicide note came after. That would have been what exonerated him.
So
Yeah,
so
trial.
could it be that Brian actually killed him,
Maybe
First
he
of all,
killed him, dude.
I think he wasn't.
or like
even
the father-in-law
tired.
killed him?
Nah, Pat killed him, bro. Yo, Coughlin was on to Pat's human trafficking ring, and Coughlin was in deep with Pat, bro. I'm saying he owed Pat some money.
Actually didn't like each other.
Pat would never be with God. He told Brian.
I think Pat's dirty.
No way. I don't even. First of all, I just want to say this right away. This movie is a complete redo of Muppets Take Manhattan. Muppets Take Manhattan came out in 1984. This movie comes out in 1988. Now, the whole premise of Muppets Take Manhattan, right in the beginning, is they're leaving college or leaving the Muppets or whatever to go pitch this musical on Broadway, right?
Yes.
Brian Flanagan's
and they say no all the time.
Right. And then there's a part where they're pitching to all these producers and they're all saying no. Then they end up at that Greek diner. And then Kermit starts working at the Greek diner. And then all this stuff ensues. And then they then put the musical on at the end. And Miss Piggy and Kermit get married. This is the same goddamn movie. Okay. Except for the suicide part. But like, other
it's also
than that,
got a splash of Coming to America in it, where Elisabeth Shue was hiding her wealth. She wanted him to like him for what he is. That's what I was like. Oh, she I forget his name, his character name, but she Coming to America. She Akeemed it.
She Akeemed it.
She Akeemed it, bro.
Yo, she learned some moves on that Karate Kid set because like she.
Oh, dude, that trip.
Leg. Yeah.
Oh, she swept him.
Swept him.
I was like, that part happened. I was like, damn.
He went down hard.
It took him out. Yo, it was hard.
I wonder if he actually got hurt during that scene.
Well, think about it. He kept drowning her in that other scene, like kept sweeping her leg and throwing her underwater. Dude, Tom Cruise
was drowning her, bro.
He was like tickling Gina Gershon. He was like,
we were watching a horror film.
He's dunking Elisabeth Shue. He's, this is, not right.
I'm saying he murdered Coughlin, dude. I'm saying, and it was a hit ordered by Pat, carried out by Brian.
Dude, he might have not murdered Coughlin. He might have got Coughlin murdered. And like while he was upstairs pretending that he didn't want the wife, that's when it got done.
Worst actress.
Oh, she was terrible.
Dude, I don't like saying that, but
you're just scared. You're scared.
And
you're just scared.
And then she's in Roadhouse after this. It's like it's so terrible.
Don't say that about my wife. Come hither.
Elisabeth Shue, go ahead.
We talk about Elisabeth Shue, the babe of the decade. I mean, can we just give a moment to just give it up to our queen babe, our queen 80s babe?
I mean, she was a great actress, cute actress, had some acting chops, much better than the woman who walked around with a floss.
That scene, it was just ass.
Why are we just seeing
random? It was like a random.
Also, some movies.
The directors just figured everyone was losing interest at that point, so they're like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just give them this real quick. Let's just see if we're still paying attention."
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think about what's your favorite Coughlin's Law.
Oh wait, can I just say this? This makes
I can only remember
sense.
the last.
Well, he has anything else is always something better.
That's a good one. I like that one.
He has never show surprise, never lose your cool.
That's a good one.
The other one was bury the dead, they stink up the place.
That's a good one.
That's the one.
Tell something about a woman, she could hear you miles away or something like that. That was the one that got him in trouble with at the club. They were all pretty good. They were all freaking. They were all good.
How many there were they?
There was like 4 or 5, but I still like Uncle Pat's.
Don't Uncle trust Pat's. Anyone?
Well, he was like outwork, out scheme, outmaneuver, and then like so like no drinks on the house.
Yeah,
no, it's good.
But
Uncle Pat knew. He saved every dime. That guy was that's a guy scrapper.
But Doug also said this other thing: beer is for breakfast.
Beer is for breakfast.
For breakfast.
Gonna hang out here, have a shot.
That was
he was a horrible influence.
That was Brian's downfall, taking that shot. After that shot, it was all gone. I mean, he could have just been like, yeah, all right, beers for breakfast. Fine. I got class. And you know, and then after that, he's just like, I mean, a part of me thinks that he actually dies or Doug dies, one of them, when they fall down those steps, and like the rest of it is like some coma dream. Like Doug, like Brian, because doesn't Doug pull him down the steps after?
Yeah.
Like, who plays around like that? Like, what kind of?
Well, they were drunk. They were drunk.
No, this is, you know what this is like, and this is what this reminds me of. Doug is hanging out with Doug. What is like hanging out Matt
Samil,
because you had no idea what was going to happen with that guy, and you put your life in your own hands.
There was somebody else we used to hang out with too that you weren't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah, everyone. So. These are inside things, obviously, but it's like that friend you have where you hung
these are
out
people
with
you grew up with.
Yeah,
where you hang out with that friend where you're just like, we're friends, but I'm definitely like.
I'm going to say it right now because you're going to bleep this out. No, it was this guy because you're not sure if he actually existed or not. Like shit was about to go down. You didn't trust him with any of your girlfriends.
No.
Okay. Always trying to come up with the next big thing. Own the bar. Okay.
On City Island.
Owed mad people money and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Dog is Vlad.
Dude, this is why this movie.
This whole episode is gonna have Doug is beep 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 beep. Like,
oh my god, cocktail! I mean, it's just like, can we just talk about the best?
Also, it wasn't just for $50. The last bet was $500. This was a $500
whiskey.
Yeah, $500 bottle of brandy, all to see if he was able to stay with that rich lady.
Best action,
which I want to talk about. When he punches the guy in the face.
Oh,
he's
God.
like, "You're drunk," and he's like, "You're ugly," and he punches him in the face. and then that's the first sculpture that goes down, and the second sculpture is when he's at Jordan's house.
Dude, he's just taking out sculptures, bro.
He doesn't like sculptures.
Got some demons. Flanagan's got some demons, bro. He just like. He can't appreciate art. And you can't trust the guy who appreciate art.
We don't know what happened with mom and dad because when Pat brings that up, they like, there's something there. Because he's like, oh, I remember when they came and repossessed the place.
Dude, I think Doug, Brian Flanagan was sent away as a child because he like burned down their house or something happened where he was one of those kids, like, you know, like the good son.
Maybe he was in like military school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like West Point.
Remember like Hutch? That movie with the guy from Al Bundy had to drive his stepson from military school.
Yeah, I remember the movie. I don't think that was Hutch though.
What was it called?
It was. You know what? I think it was.
I think it was Hutch. Yeah, I think it was like Over the Top. Except it was the kid from Over the Top. It was the kid from Over the Top was in it.
Oh,
I believe.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was the rich kid.
See,
he played another rich kid. That guy always plays in a movie where he has to sit next to a grown man in a car that he doesn't like.
Talk about problematic relationships. Over the Top. It's like, you know, one of the most problematic.
I think it's called Hutch because that guy's name is Hutch. He's like, oh, Hutch is picking you up.
Okay. While we look that up, I just want to say this. Like this movie, back to the
is Steve looking up? What is he looking at? He's looking at his sound levels.
What is your favorite musical cut in this movie?
I know mine,
dude. I got mine.
Okay, go.
I got mine.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. We should all sing the first line. We should all sing the first line to the song.
Yeah.
In the musical cut. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
This magic moment.
No, I think it's the Beach Boys song. You're totally wrong.
I love the cover of This Magic Moment. That shit was good. The Jamaican.
Love that cover.
The Jamaican cover of that movie.
I was trying to look that up, see if it's
great. It was a great scene. I want to be in that club. The dance vibes were cool.
The dance vibes. I wrote that down. No, she goes, what did she say? She goes, such intense dance vibes. If there's one thing I know about you, Manny, it's you love intense dance vibes.
That's right.
And UB40 is your favorite band of all time.
Dude, so I'm just saying I'm saying that was a good cover. But Bermuda Bahama was a great cutscene. This soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah.
I can't find this movie. I'm typing in Hutch. Nothing is popping up.
Oh my God! Just
Hitch.
Type in Ed O'Neill.
Hitch.
I'm gonna.
Hitch
I'm
is
gonna
that
now.
movie with Will Smith.
Hitch is the one with Will Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
What is going on? Are we? Is this a podcast anymore?
I'm just doing a side tangent here. I'm on a side quest right now. But no, my favorite musical cut was when at the end, when he's getting kicked out of the apartment, and what does he say to her? I guess you never will know, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Remember that line?
I guess you'll never know.
And in the background, the 80s verbed guitar.
Cold November rain. That's it.
Okay, I just want to say that only in a New York diner could you throw food on a person and no one blinks an eye.
Oh my God, that scene too.
No
And
one
then the
blinks an
lady's
eye.
like, "We have tickets to a show."
Yeah.
And
then
then
she just throws
he's
food.
like, "You shouldn't order the special." That must have been
That's
a fun
the joke.
scene. Yeah, that must have been a fun scene to shoot though. Like when she grabs the ketchup and it's just like, 'cause I hate big mounds of ketchup. Like the smell of, like I like ketchup, but the smell of a lot of ketchup is not pleasing.
Does ketchup pass a nostalgia test?
Lately, no. I've been to hot sauces lately.
Oh.
Yeah, I got some hot sauces from the hot ones.
Oh
shit.
Hot ones.
I had the bomb.
Can we just be on your podcast, please?
Just to have the bomb. That shit was crazy.
Oh my God.
Hey, I jumped out, but now I'm back, and you guys are talking about ketchup and hot sauce. What happened?
Well, not only do we have to see Kelly Lynch's butt in a G-string for no reason, we also had to see Tom Cruise wear tighty whities when he woke up next to that woman Bonnie. He was wearing tighty whities.
So he hooks up with 4 women in the movie.
Yo, he sucks.
Who, Flanagan?
Yeah, and he has, look, Elisabeth Shue's character is amazing. She's just
I like Jordan's art studio. That shit was
I want to be able to walk around her apartment because there's
that apartment was cool. Oh yeah,
levels. I love that. I love that. That probably cost
awesome.
In the 80s. What, like $500 a month?
Yeah, that was like the loft apartments before they became popular.
Her character's got great style. Everything's really like,
her like loose clothing and stuff. Yeah, I felt her character was really,
because Elisabeth Shue was like, I am not wearing anything like what Kelly Lynch is wearing. You're not.
But she did get naked.
That I know. In the first episode, I did say
like,
that. I said like poor Elisabeth Shue. Do
we see her boobies?
You get a side boob. You get a side boob.
Yeah, that's it.
But
which, when you're a kid watching a movie, that's a pretty big
That's all
deal.
you need.
I remember
Elisabeth Shue. She had to do that for no reason after he tried to drown her several times in the scene prior to that.
Bro, he was drowning her.
Dude, she was fully underwater. You know how much hair and makeup she had to go through every day? And then every day
he was trying to tickle her.
He just likes to tickle. Flugelbinder. Flugelbinder.
I could not stand Brian Flanagan. I'm sorry. He was cringy from start to finish. I don't like that guy. I don't like him at all.
All right.
Well, no.
If Brian
I like
Flanagan,
Pat, dude. Pat's up to something. Pat's got.
You like Pat, but you think he's up to something.
Yeah, that's why I like him though. He's more interesting.
He's up to making money.
Yo, did you know that in one of the one of the guys who was like, "Hey pal," or "Hey buddy," or something like that. That's the uncle from Home Alone.
I was trying to figure that out. That's where I knew him from.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuller's dad.
I wish he would have been
Fuller's
like
dad's name.
Uncle.
Is it Uncle Phil?
Uncle Fuller. Uncle Phil. It was Uncle Phil.
I wish he would have been like,
Uncle Phil.
"You little jerk! Look what you did!
Look
now,
what you did, you little jerk!"
And then Brenda's dad is sitting there, like just at the bar.
Oh, Brenda's dad is in the back a couple of times.
Did you see that?
That guy, Brenda's dad from the 90210 was in there, and like,
yo,
he
I
was there
thought
all
somebody
day.
looked familiar. Yeah, I thought
he
that
was
dude
in
looked familiar in the back.
He was there at night. He was there listening to the bet. He was there when the champagne thing, when the girl got poisoned. And first of all,
talk about that champagne thing for a second.
Why? Go ahead.
Comes leaping over the bar as if he has a medical degree to go help this. He doesn't know what he's running into.
First of all,
why would she run to the bartender?
closest thing around.
No cell phones.
She thought there was a phone, and he's like, no. So he's going, and then he gets there, and then he tells somebody, go to this place and have them call the ambulance. I'm like, why didn't that happen first?
Because he wanted to get the fuck out of there.
And then he's like flirting with her. He's like, it was an adventure. Oh, look at that. And I was like, what adventure? Like, all you did was like lift her head up and was like,
she's a drunk.
Let's just hold her here.
He did literally nothing.
No, he smiled at her.
Smiled at her.
His Tom Cruise smile.
He said, champagne. What did he say? Perfume going in, sewage going out.
Like, everything is sewage coming out. What the fuck are you talking about, Tom?
Every scene there was like some anecdote or like riddle in every scene.
He was a wannabe Coughlin, dude. He was a wannabe Coughlin.
Oh.
You know, what can you say? He loved his daddy.
There's another one. Workers never
hustlers never work
and workers never hustle. Yeah.
And you, my friend, are a worker.
Yeah. And you,
which is like, dude, this whole movie is about toxic masculinity, because all this guy does is try to shame Brian Flanagan, who's trying to read, who's trying to go to school, who's trying to figure something out, who's trying to like better himself. And Doug Coughlin, right? Is just all he does the entire time is make fun of him for doing these things, and baits him. And he's just like, oh,
misery loves company.
But that's the thing. And he's like, how dare you like what you do for a living? It's just like, he wants to be a bartender.
If a guy opens up talking to you by drinking a red eye, something's wrong.
I mean, that's a red flag. If someone drinks a raw egg in front of you, get the fuck out of that room.
Yeah, not only a raw egg. If he's putting vodka, tomato juice, aspirin, and drops a raw egg, there's no fucking way you should be with that guy.
Can we talk about what was with 80s dudes drinking raw eggs? What was it about
that? That was like from Rocky. They wanted to do it from like Rocky. Protein was raw egg.
Was that in some like magazine or something?
Yeah, it was probably some muscle magazine or something.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely.
That's fucking gross. Like, but the whole movie
you ever
is.
Tried it?
No. It doesn't pass the nostalgia test.
Should we do it now? Eggs.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have eggs in our house. We can go. Let's do it.
I've already been taking something that's already horrible to take. I couldn't even imagine just taking a raw egg.
What are you doing?
Oil of oregano.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, but it tastes like
it's spicy.
It's spicy. It's like,
you gotta drink a glass of water after.
I don't know. I mean, I'm doing it with water, but it's still like, whoa, okay.
Welcome to Homeopathic Talk on the Nostalgia Test podcast, where we talk about oregano oil.
That's what happens when you're 42.
Dude,
I think a raw egg would help with that.
Do we not know Jordan's name until an hour 16 into the movie?
I think so. Yeah.
When the
I was surprised too.
Wasn't it when he goes, "Where's Jordan?" or something like that, and because he goes to the
goes to the little cabana.
And then you finally see Champagne Girl again.
Yeah.
This episode's everywhere, man. 100 episode is crazy,
dude. I just want to talk about a line that I didn't hear the first time when I watched it, and I heard it this time. When they go to Doug's bar, or Tom Cruise goes to the bar to give him that bottle of whiskey or whatever. People trying to get into that bar, and someone goes, "I'm Springsteen's cousin."
Yes,
and then the guy goes, "You look more like his couch."
Yes. That's the first time I heard it too, Dan. And I watched this movie like 100 times. I was like, what?
Dude, the side background banter was pretty on point though. When they pulled up to the art show in the limo, and the cabbie's like, "Yo, limo drivers are all the same."
Yeah, he's like, you sit around with your thumb in your ass.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, what?
It's like, who's writing? Was that all improv?
No way.
Dude, it was great. The club one you got to watch again. There's other ones. People are saying other things. Like, I was here last Saturday, and someone else saying something else. The Springsteen one was the best.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Oh my god. Cocktail and Dreams. Now when I was in Greece, across from this 15th century Byzantine church was a loud, crazy bar that had a cocktails and dreams sign in window. And I'm sitting there like in between the two of them being like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it was just like, oldest place I've ever been inside of. And then this other thing that's happening that I was like, how is this even here? It was crazy because I was like, I can't get away from this movie. No matter what I do, look at the color of our logo.
I mean, yeah, that's why our logo is this color. So, anyways, all right. I mean, what more can we say about this movie?
Well, if you had
it is true, yeah. Steve. What are you talking about? When I was talking to the designer, we said the colors from the Cocktail and Dreams logo.
If you had to recast Elisabeth Shue, who would you recast her with?
At that time or now?
Drago's wife.
Let's go.
Drago's wife.
You're stupid.
Drago's wife, Elisabeth Shue? I would cast her in the Kelly Lynch part.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's better. Yeah.
Elizabeth Shue. I'm trying to think about who was like around.
Oh, who the
that
80s?
Was, that
80s
was like
people?
80s, like I guess that redheaded girl. No.
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
No, what was her? The girl from hold on.
What about the girl from Short Circuit? Or Cox? She could have been.
What?
Yeah, she was around that time.
Oh, Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were just
saying the word Cox.
And
I know.
Just wanted to talk about something completely different. About something that you really wanted right now. That had nothing to do with what we're talking about.
What's her name? She was in this movie called
all this Tom Cruise talk has got Manny excited.
Where is
I can't remember 80 actresses, man.
No, I have one. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. She was in Twister.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, Helen Hunt.
No, not Helen Hunt. Not Helen Hunt. She wasn't famous enough at that point.
She was in Twister.
Claudia Schiffer.
In the 90s. No. Oh. Hold on a second.
What about the girl from Top Gun? The original?
No. Oh, Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz is an 80s actor.
That's what we fucking waited for? Jamie Gertz.
You don't know who Jamie Gertz is?
No.
Dude, Jamie Gertz was in a whole bunch of stuff in the 80s.
Ugh.
She was in The Lost Boys. You don't remember? You guys suck.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes. Wait, she was in Twister?
She was in a movie called Solar Babies. She was in 16 Candles.
Solar Babies.
She was the doc. She was the what's his face's wife in Twister.
Yeah. She was amazing in that movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
Jamie Gertz.
Yeah, she's hot, dude. Yeah, I'm down with her. Yeah, I like
Jamie
that pick.
Gertz in that role.
Okay.
Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
And Drago's wife as
Kelly Lynch's part.
Kelly Lynch.
Yeah, because she was awesome in Cobra.
Carrie.
Something like that. Yeah, Carrie. Her name's Carrie with a Y.
With a Y. Jamie Gertz. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Babe.
So you didn't like
the two girls from Weird Science.
Oh, yeah.
Debbie from Killer Clowns.
Debbie from Killer Clowns. I like it.
Debbie's roommates from Killer Clowns.
Oh my God. Well, look, people, guys.
This is it.
Are we wrapping it up? Are you wrapping it up?
Yeah. I mean, what more can we really say?
Come on, I had something to say.
Well, yeah, Steve, now that your microphone works, what?
Yeah, we didn't want to tell you, but we weren't listening the whole time. All right, guys. Does this pass or not?
I mean, it's a fine movie, but it's dated, so therefore it can't. Oh,
that's what I actually want to say. This movie could never happen. A lot of movies in the 80s and 90s could never happen now because of like new technology. I was thinking about this. Like, he couldn't find her until he went to Jerry's Diner. If you had a cell phone around that time, he would have known where she went because she would have been like, "Fuck you, we're done. Text goodbye." Mm-hmm. This would have been the first thing I thought of. Would have been over
when she saw him with the other girl. The first thing I thought of when the next scene was her on the beach. I was like, she would be on TikTok right now, or she'd be like posting about.
Yeah, no, like this all would have been over.
This guy,
like,
she would have posted about it.
I was thinking about that too. Like, just even how they're like became stars. They probably would have been even more popular because of someone recording them. But then I'm like, he couldn't do half the things that he was getting away with.
So. Also, the reference to to Rolling Stone magazine. Now that the founder of Rolling Stone is such a dickhead, like who cares about Rolling Stone at this point anymore, right? Because and the fact that Rolling Stone was even brought up in the movie to be something that puts a bartender on the map makes absolutely no sense then. It makes no sense now. And, no one cares about Rolling Stone magazine. So you would need, it would just be all about Instagram now. Instagram and TikTok. This would be.
I think more about TikTok and Snapchat. Instagram is already old. That's already getting put to the test.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's a little more organized.
Oh, you heard it here first. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
It's that old. I'm okay with it. I mean, that's a platform I use. The other ones are like people would already say like, oh yeah, it's only on Snapchat and TikTok. But I think it doesn't. So I don't even remember if I said it passes the test. It to me, it's definitely 80s, 90s, I guess, rom-com. I think I just have a fun time watching it because it just like reminds me of all these different times. Like Matt Antonio and I used to watch this all the time. We would recite it from start to end. Just Jeremy had a moment with coming over my house and watching this for the first time and how excited I got it. Like, and some stupid shit happened at the house with that. Like, I just have a good time with this movie. Mm-hmm. And I, again, know how bad it is. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't bother me. Like, I could watch this again, where there's other movies where I'm like, even nowadays when I watch movies, they're like, I would say this is like a B- C+ movie. Movies now that are C+, I'm like, what a waste of fucking time. Why did you just make me watch that? Like, I get pissed at bad movies that are made nowadays.
I think it's because these movies are made seriously. Like, they went into making Cocktail. It was serious for them. It was based on a novel. And the guy who wrote the book wrote the screenplay. This was not just like we're making an 80s. We're not making we're making a cheesy film. They were like, no, we're making this movie. This is like very serious to us.
Yeah.
And they put everything into it. And also, I mean, the thing is this. Tom Cruise is, whenever he's in anything, it really doesn't matter what it's going on. He is really good at what he does. So he
being Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he made this movie watchable the whole way through. And it just like, without him,
even though Steve hates his character,
it was cringy to me. He was so cringy to me, dude. Like every scene. But it was like early Cruise, and he was killing it. He was killing.
Well, this is before Top Gun.
Cruise could do no wrong.
Did he run in this movie?
No, but he sings. And Tom Cruise
ran a little bit.
Everything.
He ran a little bit. But we didn't see a running scene. We didn't see a Tom Cruise running scene.
He ran.
Only when
not
jumped
a
up.
typical.
No,
we didn't see him like full side.
No Tom run, man.
This.
No. But can I just say this? Most relaxed ambulance driver of all time goes to that actor who played the character Owen. Owen, the ambulance driver.
Man, I gotta go.
Let's go.
Hey, the best about that is he didn't want to cockblock Brian. He's like, hey,
he was just
Brian.
waiting. He's just like,
hey, Brian, okay, you had enough already. Let's go.
Christ. Smile at her. Let's get the.
She's about a minute and a half away from alcohol poisoning, and we gotta pump her stomach. But do your thing. Do your thing. Come on. Let's go. Whenever you're done.
Don't worry. Be happy, man.
I wish he would have said that. If he would have said that, I would have been like, okay, there's the comedy part of this whole film. But like, I feel like one thing I realized though is like Tom Cruise sings in this film. Tom Cruise sings in Top Gun. Tom Cruise sings. I'm pretty sure he sings in the majority of his movies at some point. Maybe not The Firm, but I think like most of other films, he's singing or dancing.
It's a good scene with him. It makes him relatable.
But yeah, but I think he just likes to sing.
All right.
Brian Flanagan.
Brian Flanagan's cringe.
Yo, Brian Flanagan's a bitch. Pat is a human trafficker, and Coughlin is, I don't know. He's just a drunk.
He's the Gilgo killer.
Coughlin, do you think Brian Flanagan broke the bottle and then just like went down like that, like hit, like slammed his throat?
I was trying to figure out what he did. I was thinking he broke it and then he went like this, like because he was wasted, bro. He was hammered.
Yeah.
So here's another thing about it being taking place now. If it was now, you would have been just like, "Oh, just get an Uber. I'm staying with him." Like she left him on the damn boat, and she's like, "I don't like going upstairs alone." Like, get an Uber. You have a guard. You know, like stop it. I'm staying with my best friend.
Speaking of like the guards and the concierge of Jordan's family, like he just like sure, like when Brian first shows up, he just
yeah. No, he said that all visitors need to be announced.
In the penthouse.
No, he said that all visitors. He still said that all visitors need to be announced in the first one.
But then he let him up anyway.
Yeah, well, and then why is there a doorbell? Even though like you get announced, you still have to ring the doorbell when you get to the door.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're rich.
Yeah.
Rich people have big.
She's pregnant.
Yo, what, dude? If
that
this
intense scene. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, did you notice that the waitress was hooking up with the waitress? The waitress was hanging out with the bar guy, the barfly from Pat's bar. The waitress comes back that he called a bitch and is at his wedding, and she's hugging. That
was her, yeah.
Yeah, she's hugging. Yeah. She's hugging the
that was her,
the bar guy that got hit in the face with a club during the 1986 World Series.
That guy's amazing.
That guy's great.
That guy, that actress who also played the waitress, she was amazing too.
Oh, it was great.
A lot of great side characters.
Dude, Pat's reaction when Flanagan comes back from like Jamaica after being gone like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, hey. It's the first time seeing him, his nephew, hearing from him. Oh, hey.
Yeah, hey. They were again, no cell phones. Back then, you're calling collect if you're calling Pat. Like you're using.
No, Pat did not take collect calls.
I was gonna say, what you think he's gonna take a collect call? No,
that was like on the voice message, like at the beep, say your names. Like, hey Pat, it's Brian. I just want to say I'm okay.
Yeah.
Hey Pat, it's Brian. You remember that guy that was training me? He killed himself. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, pick me up. Hey Pat, I sold my soul for $50 and I'm in Jamaica. I need help. I gotta go.
Yo, what about when Brian Flanagan unrolls that poster? At first, that poster, that Jamaica poster, I was like, it just looked like a spill, and then I'm like, oh, it's a shirt. Like it's a
that apartment too was terrible. Did you see the heater in that apartment?
Dude, I love how
Brian's apartment.
Yeah, I love how Pat goes, yeah, I had some yuppies stay there. They loved it. They thought it was kind of like kitschy or whatever.
Cute.
The first Airbnb, Pat.
Yo, Pat.
On you, bro.
Fucking hustler. Schemer. Hustler.
And then at the end when he goes, drinks on the house, he's like,
no. A dynasty.
Because he knows, dude.
Oh my god,
bro! That's the only reason why Pat is schemer.
Cocktail
2 should happen,
dude. Cocktail 2 should happen.
That's story.
Last call.
Story.
Tom Cruise should be in it, and his twin kids.
It's going to be called On the House. Cocktail 2.
Oh,
who do you cast in Cocktail 2 as his two kids?
Are they older or like teenage?
Older.
Oh, so are we picking up like where are we picking up from?
If we're picking out present time, they're like,
if they're in their 20s
like
or whatever, okay, Chalamet's got to be one. Timothy Chalamet. Let's get him on there.
What?
Yeah. He's the hotness, dude. Him and that dude who played Elvis.
No.
That dude who played Elvis could be the new Coughlin because he'll like turn into that voice.
No,
Yeah,
you have
that's a
to
good
have
one, yeah.
someone older for Coughlin. So
You could have
Tom Cruise kind
You
of
have to have Cruise as Coughlin. Like
Why
Tom
did he
Cruise can
turn
just
on his
be
own
like,
kids.
Dude, Brad
bro,
Pitt.
no, you don't even put
Brad
You
Pitt,
bring
dude.
back Flanagan, and Flanagan is
Brad Pitt.
divorced. You could bring that Flanagan, and Flanagan's divorced. Okay, because it's like he got spooked again. Things didn't work
Because he's
out.
Flanagan
She
and
left
he's a
him.
dick. And
And he's actually a dick. Like he's just an alcoholic who's addicted to, and it's never enough for him. He's done, and now he's trying to train the new person. And Flanagan's the actual, and he comes out with Flanagan's laws.
the new Coughlin. Flanagan's the new Coughlin.
Yeah, he just takes over as the dark side.
All right, I get it. And Timothy Chalamet is the new
new Brian.
Nah.
No, dude, you're not a fan of that. Who would you, all right.
No,
all right, you
I'm
go.
trying
That
to
was my
think,
go.
but
What's your
I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone.
I hope if it comes out, it'd have to be like a lot funnier. Did you happen to see White Man's Can't Jump, the new one?
Fuck no, bro.
It was
I'm not
fucking
watching
terrible.
that. I'm not watching.
Oh man,
that
it was
shit.
terrible.
Is that a movie or a show? I thought it was a show.
No, it's
Isn't it a show?
it's a movie. It's a
If
movie.
you wanted to
movie.
remake, if you want to do Cocktail 2,
Bro, if you watch
want-
this movie, you have time to watch the other movie.
if you got Cocktail 2 and like instead of Tom Cruise,
I'm not gonna do it.
I think Tom Cruise should be dead in the movie, and I think like there'll
Whoa.
be flashbacks, and I think there should be a Coughlin like character that could be played by who's the Wolverine guy who played Wolverine.
Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Because in Logan he looked fucked up, so I think like you could have him there, or the guy that played the Punisher in the Punisher series on Netflix, and then he leaves behind his own life lessons, for the kids before he died, and they're the lessons that fight against these other bullshit lessons, and so hopefully that they can like not get fucked by this other dude.
Too convoluted. I'm going to Taken
Hell
route.
no.
I'm going to Taken route. Pat's going to steal the twins, try to put them into human trafficking, and Brian's
Oh
going to
my
have
god,
Liam
you
Neeson
and this
his
human
ass.
trafficking thing.
Yo, Brian's going to have.
Are you on this whole thing about Pat and just because he owns a bar?
He owns a bar.
I
in
own
Long
a
Island
bar.
City in the 80s,
I own
bro.
a bar.
Not in Long Island City in the 80s.
Listen,
Look, it's not City Island.
has there ever been a time that Sylvester Stallone and Tom Cruise have been in the same movie?
Yeah, they were in that Expendables movie.
Tom
Both of
Cruise
them.
is in it?
Tom Cruise was in Expendables.
Oh wait, no, Tom Cruise. No, never mind. I was thinking something else.
I'm trying to think of an actor that could be in this movie other than Timothy Chalamet. I don't know anyone.
Expendables is coming out with like Expendables 4 right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're just about to. We're
just
gonna.
oh my
we're,
God. Yeah,
we're
this is
stretching this
okay.
episode for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
All right.
No way.
All right, so what? All right, you got
So it
100
doesn't
episodes.
pass the
Guys,
test.
listen, let me. I just want to say that congrats. Let me. Can I do a congrats? Can I give you
Sure.
guys?
Yeah.
Flowers.
Oh, absolutely.
for
Why not?
100 eps? Look at this. 100 eps. Look at the two of you.
Look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought?
My budding pals. A pandemic inspired little get together, and here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, 100
later.
episodes in. I don't know. I did like your poem, Dan, because it was like sometimes it was like good, and other times we were like, what did we just talk about? What the hell just happened?
There was episodes where you whispered on your end, I think because you were living in Astoria at that time.
Yeah,
And there was
it was
literally
late too.
I think it was the episode when we did the toy commercials, and you were like,
I was like this.
to skip it.
Yeah, so,
it was so crazy. But then when we were showing the animal, you couldn't handle it. You were just dying.
No. Think about my wife when she does go to sleep. There's a point where she doesn't hear anything anymore.
Yeah,
it's just getting to that point. But Steve, I mean, you've been on some really good episodes that we've had.
No,
So-
I made this show great. I mean, I'm not going to
You
be.
know what's
coy
interesting
about
is that
it.
we've
I
never
made the
been
show.
on an episode with you with music.
No.
What
We
the
haven't.
hell? Did
I
we
don't
ever
know
do a
anything about
Dave Matthews episode?
No, we haven't.
I'm down anytime.
I think we do a Dave Matthews episode.
He's down anytime as he's looking at his phone.
Yeah. Okay. Look,
I'm
let's
not
end this
looking-
episode. I got to make a yoga class. People, listen.
You're going to yeah, you're on the okay. No, yeah,
People.
I'm down. I'm down anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're going to put a Dave Matthews album to the test. And I don't know which one, but like now.
Do we have the 5 questions, Dan?
I don't remember them. We're putting this to the test.
No, we put this.
All right, how are you guys ending your show? How are you guys ending your show?
I thought we
did it.
There was the 5 episodes that we had, the 5 questions that we had.
I don't remember where you put them.
That's what happens. It's been a while since we've been like taping.
Oh my
in
god!
A row.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
look, we all know what Steve thinks about Rocky. We know what he got here for Cocktail. So, if you had to rate the Dave Matthews albums, what would you rate them?
Oh shit! Oh, that's a hard one, man. There's so many. I need some time.
If you could rate all the live albums of Dave,
I would say Crash. The album Crash is probably the best one. I mean, just in terms of everything, in terms of all the numbers and all the different ways you could look at it, like the songs and everything.
Amazing.
Probably number 1.
That's a good one. Manny, what are you looking for? You looking for the questions?
I'm looking for the questions that we had.
Are we still on Cocktail? Or what's going on here? Are we still on?
I'm putting Cocktail. I think Cocktail stays nostalgic. But it's a very enjoyable nostalgic film. It's
dude, we just had an hour and a half conversation about it.
Yeah, truly. I got to cut this down to an hour. But I think what we're doing is I think revisiting it really shows us that, that we made the right call.
We have nothing else going on.
No, what?
Yeah,
no, we made the right call.
We're a bunch of middle-aged dudes
Cocktail,
with no social life.
Cocktail. It's a Tuesday. Cocktail stays nostalgic. It's a great nostalgic film. If you haven't seen it, watch this movie right now. You can rent it, I guess, on Amazon or watch it for free on Paramount Plus.
This is all I ask people.
Definitely watch it. Yeah, definitely. If you're
this is what I ask people to do, though.
Okay,
give it a better rating. Because it was at 5 when we first started this.
It was a critics 5, and
it's now at 9%.
Wow, people, we got to get that up because we want a second Cocktail. Not starring Timothy Chalamet, but what I think we could do for we got a bunch of great episodes coming up. Everyone check out this podcast, check it out, share the podcast with people. That can really help. And everyone, 100 episodes. Thank you for everyone that's listened, who supported the podcast, who likes the podcast, who shares it with people. Thank you to all the other podcasters out there that's also been on the podcast. I can't name everyone because I'm really forgetting. Special shout out to Brian Colburn for, my weekly mixtape getting there on Pantheon Podcast. I mean, damn, Brian. Teach us everything you know, and definitely follow us on Instagram at the Nostalgia Test. I don't think we're using Twitter anymore because I have no idea. I'm scared of it. And TikTok at the Nostalgia Test. Share, follow. Steve, as always, it's been a good time. Thank you for being here for Cocktail.
Thank you guys. You're welcome. For me.
You got anything to plug, Steve?
No. I'm just I'm on Spotify. You can check out my music on Spotify. I'm
check
not
it
on
out.
Instagram anymore. I pulled that.
You pulled Instagram?
Check out Steve Spotify. Steve on Spotify.
Really?
On Spotify. I'll
Steve
put the Herrera music.
The link will be in the show notes. Click on that. Listen to his music. It's really amazing. Steve's a great songwriter and singer and guitar player.
Thank you,
Manny.
You pulled it for your personal account too?
Yeah, man. I need a break. I did the whole break.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
guys. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys. Love you guys. We'll see you at the next test. Please let us know what we should be putting to the test. Peace.
Later.
Bury the dead. They stink up the place.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.